Horses are highly sensitive. The BEMER horse set blanket is ideal for horses when they need to take a break from training and competition. I was skeptical about BEMER in the beginning, but soon found out that it really works.
Keeping a horse healthy is the most important thing for a rider. A horse is like a family member. Without a horse partner, we're just pedestrians.
From the very beginning, BEMER has been fully committed to the health of people and animals. The predecessor to the BEMER veterinary line for horses, the BEMER Vet, was launched in 2000. A revolution in its day, the idea simply worked, and users were satisfied. But the first BEMER system for horses still had plenty of room to improve.
In 2016, BEMER launched a new horse set blanket, which has been extremely successful.
The BEMER veterinary line for horses is characterized by significantly improved ergonomics. The blanket has an attractive design and is much more practical to use. The battery-powered control unit has been integrated into the blanket itself, meaning no more annoying cables. The cuff for local treatment is a new addition to the product.
BEMER is right on track. When I walk through the stable at tournaments, almost in every other stall is a horse that is using the BEMER blanket.
Since 2019, BEMER has solidified its reputation in the sport of equestrian.
The BEMER horse set has already wowed the equestrian world, but at BEMER, the work never stops. We are continuing to develop our product in collaboration with experts from the Schockemöde family, the Horse Competence Center Germany, world champion show jumper Simone Blum, and veterinarians such as Dr. Hermann Josef Genn.
BEMER spent over 2 years in the development of the new version of the horse set, and it's been an exciting journey.
The BEMER blanket is greatly developed. An increased size of the blanket would target better the horse's ISG hindquarters and croup, which are critical for the performance of show jumping horses. We have been testing the BEMER blanket throughout our stable, and the feedback has been extremely positive.
Lots of practical details have been improved, using our years of know-how, our skills in development, our energy, our persistence, and our passion. We've also made one really big change. Following the advice of veterinarians, the single cuff has been replaced by 2 brand new, better shaped and bigger cuffs.
I believe the BEMER blanket's the leader in equestrian sport.
The new BEMER horse set, design done properly. We've introduced new belts with improved elasticity, as well as new hook and loop fasteners and simplified adjusters. The blanket is adjustable and has been optimized for the anatomy of your horse, while the circulation system has been improved with the help of veterinarians. We've also added breathable components and moved the control unit to make it easier for the rider to access, not the horse. And now you get 2 cuffs with a washable inlet and a new pouch. Plus, the Y cable lets you charge 2 applicators at the same time. The new BEMER horse set also comes with a sweat blanket for your horse.
The signal, which is the heart of the BEMER blanket technology, has not changed. The new version of the BEMER blanket has been extremely well received. While conducting customer research for the new blanket, one of the most common questions is, when will the new blanket be released? We can't wait to get one. Among the new enhancements are the redistribution of the coils evenly distributed throughout the body. Additionally, the new breathable mesh material prevents the horse from heating up. A small redesign has become a revolutionary evolution. I do not think BEMER can improve anything at the moment. I think it will be a valuable tool to optimize the health and performance of all horses.
The experts have spoken. It's the best BEMER horse set we've ever made.
Ladies and gentlemen, please help me. Welcome to the stage, the BEMER CEO of North America, Albert Bosch.
All right, well, welcome. Good evening. Thank you. Thank you. And thank you for attending this first in many, many years, our reveal of our new equine horse blanket. It's an exciting time to be at BEMER, and it's an exciting time for us to be here with you, and we really are thankful for those of you that are here. If you are here, you are a VIP within the equine community, is my understanding, and so I welcome you and I thank you. We also have a lot of other VIPs that are equine athletes, owners. We've got barn managers, ambassadors, and we've got our very own independent BEMER distributors. So thank you all for being here and being a part of this special day for us. As we think about ourselves as a company, you're going to hear us talk over the next maybe hour or so about, the importance of blood flow, which is what we do and we specialize in for humans and also for horses. Our innovative technology, we'll talk a bit about that, and also we'll introduce this new horse blanket so you can get a feel and appreciation for all that's gone in it. But most importantly, our technology can improve the health. It can improve the health of humans, the well-being, and most importantly, it can improve your health and well-being and that of your beloved animals. And in particular, today we're going to talk about horses. So, when it comes to BEMER, we are a market leader in what we call microcirculation. And so we've been developing patented treatments in this area for many years, and also around the methods of physical vascular therapy. And those are for people and animals. And we've been doing this since 1998, so we are not new to the industry, but the brand BEMER may be new to some of you. So, we welcome you and also know that we continue to do research in this field and specialize in, again, both the animal and the human body and physiology. And so we're all about better circulation, better health, and better life for you and for your horse. If you aren't familiar with BEMER, our international headquarters is where this little star is, and it's kind of nestled between Switzerland, Austria, and Germany in the mountains of Liechtenstein, a beautiful place, and also a place that has much with the equine and equestrian world. If you don't know a bit about BEMER, we've been around for over 20 years. We are family-owned, debt-free. And of course, we've got that Swiss and German engineering, which make our product unique and really special and high quality. We're in over 42 countries around the world. And surprisingly, we're still one of the best kept secrets in North America, if not all over the world. So our objective is to bring it out of the shadows and let people know what we're all about and the quality of our product. I am fortunate and blessed to represent the North American business out of Carlsbad, California. So if you're ever in the Carlsbad area, I welcome you to our home office, and we would love to show you around there. When we think about our vision, we have a vision that we continue to propel forward, which was the vision of our founder, Peter Gleim. And this is a powerful vision and also not one in which Peter is alone. If you know Microsoft and Bill Gates, he had a vision back in the 80s of a computer in every home. And now I would imagine if you're like myself, we've got one at home, one at work. We've got a couple iPhones, iPads. So we're tethered probably to more than 4 or 5 devices. So when we think about BEMER, we think it's very, very doable that we can see a BEMER in every home for every human to help with health and wellness. And also, now we can see a vision of BEMER in every barn, right? So we hope that you enjoy today, that you find it enriching in your knowledge of BEMER, and also in particular of our new BEMER horse set. And to continue, you're going to hear a little bit about our scientific side so you can appreciate the science that goes behind it, both from a human perspective and also from a veterinarian and from a horse perspective. And then we'll also bring up a little bit of marketing so you can see our plans on how we're going to make equine and this particular channel of BEMER better and bigger, bolder than ever before, to give you the support, the tools that you need to go out and represent it proudly, confidently, so that we can have a BEMER in every barn. So welcome, and I'd like to welcome to the stage Dr. Joshua Burka.
Thank you. I'm good. All right, great to see you. I can barely see you from up here. There's so many lights, but some of you may know about BEMER, some of you don't. So I'm going to go through some fundamental basics. BEMER is classified as a pulse electromagnetic field therapy or therapeutic device in both the human as well as the equine systems that they distribute. While BEMER is considered as a pulse electromagnetic field therapy, whether in human or in equine systems, it does a little bit more than your standard PEMF type of products that have been on the industry. In fact, I wanted to invite you to think about BEMER. When you think of BEMER, think of vascular. Think of microvascular, microvessels. And I want to invite you to think about what it means to be in the flow. Not just you as individuals, but horses. What does it mean for a horse to be in the flow? Because flow represents circulation, and circulation represents flow. Agreed? Yes. So, just a little funny thing. No one's going to be funny today. I have to. Everyone in here has to remember the circulation desk, yes? Yeah. I mean, the circulation desk is in the library, a local library, where you go to check out books, where you go to find information about books. So circulation denotes movement, availability, accessibility, and each of you may have your own perspective of it, and that's fine. But however you view circulation, it's extremely important to understand that healthy, functioning circulation, or more importantly, microcirculation, is the key to good health, faster recovery, and optimal performance. And so many people want to know, well, how does this work? How does pulse electromagnetic field therapy, how does BEMER work? I'm not going into the mechanism of action or details, but there are plenty of scientific research articles you can look at to acquaint yourself better with the technology. I'm bringing things up regarding human microcirculation, not because I want to get away from these folks, but blood flows very similarly in all organisms that have a vascular system. And this is a paper called The Human Microcirculation, Regulation of Flow and Beyond. This is Dr. David Gutterman. This was published back in 2016, myself and Dr. Gutterman in the lower right corner at the Experimental Biology Conference in San Diego, California. I want to read this. These are excerpts taken from this paper, and it says, the microcirculation is responsible for orchestrating adjustments in vascular tone to match local tissue perfusion with oxygen demand. For those of you who didn't grab that, just look at that. That's very, very interesting. It's tasked with providing nutrients, removing metabolic byproducts from virtually every single cell in the body, and the microcirculation plays an extremely critical role in indirect effects of how tissue is functioning through perfusion rates. This paradigm of understanding this about microcirculation may explain why microvascular dysfunction is such a powerful predictor of cardiovascular events and may help to identify new approaches to prevention as well as treatment. Folks, the reason why you don't know about this in the equine market is because it's just creeping into the human market right now. And looking at how these microvascular changes based on not just your genetics, actually very little to do with your genetics, but your choices that we're making every day, or the choices that we make for our animals, our horses. Think about it that way. This report's very interesting as well. It says small blood vessels, big health problems. This was published by the American Heart Association. And I want to read this. Microvascular complications are well-recognized effects of long-standing hypertension or diabetes. In addition, small blood vessels themselves cause or contribute to a diversity of diseases and pathogenic processes. I'm not going to go through and read these because I'm going to tell you that the majority of chronic diseases that exist are underlying in the microcirculatory network. And of course, the neurological system is involved. I'm not going to go into that detail. But microcirculation is a key point that cannot be ignored. This is not a horse heart, this is a human heart, but I will say on the left side of your screen, you can see the macro version of what we look at as an angiogram, flipping a heart and looking at whether it's flowing or whether it's blocked. Folks, this is the general perspective that we have as doctors to diagnose people and to support their treatment and care. I want you to look at the slide right next to this. This is also the heart. You can still see the same vessels. This is a plasticized heart that shows you the microcirculation. And don't just look at the heart, look at this graph. Almost 75%, 3/4 of your body is the microcirculation vessels, not these large ones that you can see. And this is where the business happens. You have blood flow that comes in through the arteries, arterioles, into the microcirculation network of the capillaries, and then returning through venules and veins. The action occurs in this little circle that you see right here. And this is where BEMER really shines. Because when you look at a vessel, they're not tubes. Vessels are in motion. They're moving. The fluid within them is moving. And the fact is, if your vessels aren't flexible, if they're not moving in the appropriate manner, you do not have functional microcirculation. And therefore, you are predisposed to the expression of dysfunction, which can lead to chronic disease. A healthy individual will have vasomotor oscillations that occur anywhere between 3 to 5 times per minute. And so as we get older or under more stress, these vasomotor oscillations diminish. They break down for humans and for our equine friends. So this is a Vasomotion video, and I'm not going to spend a lot of time, but I want you to see the fundamental basics. This is not BEMER treatment. This is just looking at, for those of you who have not been exposed to this, this is microvessels in the intestinal area, looking at spontaneous vasomotion, naturally occurring vasomotor function. And not only do I want you to take a look up here at the blood flow, I want you to look at the rhythmical movements of the vessels themselves, the diameter changes. Because these diameter changes have everything to do with how blood flows. You can see when this does tighten up and constrict, it can literally backflow the blood in a different direction. Why does the body do this? Why does the horse's body do this? Why does our body do this? Because you only have about 5 or 6 liters of blood in your body. These animals may be 50, 55, 45, depending on their size. And we need to shunt blood where it needs to go based on metabolic needs. So vasomotor function, you can see up on the screen right now, this backflow that's occurring from the functional movements of these oscillatory changes known as vasomotion. In simple terms, this means that this pulsatile flow is better or more functional. Because if you have stagnant blood, how could you possibly deliver the nutrients you need and return the waste products out of these cells where I said this business happens in that circle of the microcirculatory networks? You can't. So we look at scientific research on BEMER, and a lot has been done on the human side, and so much is happening on the equine side at this point. In fact, Dr. Klopp was one of the first individuals who started looking at the microcirculation, not just on the arterial flow or the venous flow, but also started digging in a little deeper into the lymphatic processes that occur within horses, which are extremely unique compared to human beings. And I'm going to leave it at that for right now. But I want to look at these videos because Dr. Klopp really pioneered, didn't create or invent, but pioneered a way of using intravital microscopy, which is this blood flow visualization that you see. On the left, let me see here. On your left side, you're going to see a venous return. You're going to see an arterial down the middle and a capillary off to the side. And this is considered fairly stagnant blood flow. It's not moving very well. You're also going to see some shifts and changes that occur when BEMER is applied. Folks, I want to tell you, the majority of individuals who use the BEMER will have a response within 2 to 6 minutes. So when you see a program here that's 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 15 minutes, even a 5-minute program has enough stimulatory effect, not for power, but more about information and force being delivered to make physiological functional change to the microvessels. Fabulous. So you're going to see here, after just a few minutes of BEMER usage, this flow parameters begin to change. And it's not just the movement. You can see partial pressure of oxygen change, venous return, nodal points of perfusion shift, increase in white blood cells. So something called ICAM1, intracellular adhesion molecule, supports the roll action of white blood cells. This is only after 3 minutes of stimulation, folks. A considerable increase. And I'm going to let this play a little bit, but because of time, I'm not going to go into the details. But you'll see there's another image of this after 6 minutes and then after 30 minutes. The most important thing I want you to take away from this is when this stops and comes off this horse, the action continues. It's not something that just stops, and this is what's so unique about the BEMER product in comparison to anything else within the pulse electromagnetic field market on this planet. You can see on the venous return the amount of white blood cells that are moving up the membrane, the endothelial walls. So you're increasing the white blood cells, not the creation of white blood cells, but the mobilization. What does that mean? That means you're supporting this horse and yourselves and anyone utilizing this device to support their immune function to thwart off or prevent infections. All right, I'm going to continue forward. And why is it important? You have a couple things going on in your body every day. Look at these numbers. 80 to 100 trillion cells exist. 500 quadrillion protein molecules per second. 21 sextillion chemical reactions per second. You think that costs energy? It costs ATP, adenosine triphosphate, which cannot be created unless you have the raw materials to do so. And BEMER supports the delivery of those raw materials to support what's called mitochondrial bioenergetics and supporting mitochondrial function. So our physical body and biochemical functionality, we are governed by an integrated bioenergy and an epigenetic bridge that guides our gene expression. It's not just the genetics inside here that makes me who I am or this horse. It literally is this bridge that guides gene expression to support energy production and energy regulation. And optimal microcirculation, make no mistake about it, is the cornerstone of health. And to maintain balance or homeostasis, it's vital we maintain balance between both structure and function to sustain life based on our individual metabolic needs. With that said, I would like to introduce Dr. Katarzyna. Please come up here, Dr. Katarzyna. She is a veterinary doctor. Please. She is a veterinary doctor, and she will be informing you a little bit more about how BEMER works and some of the research beyond it. But before we do this, we'll go forward here. There you go. Just a quick video, that's all.
Moments of happiness. When your horse feels well, energetic and limber, healthy and bursting with strength. Moments of happiness you do anything to keep. Moments of happiness provided to you by the BEMER horse set. It stimulates the small blood vessels when circulation is restricted. In doing so, it boosts metabolism and cell activity. This supports regeneration, tension release, recovery and healing processes, and is an effective preventive measure for your horse. Beyond this, the BEMER horse set keeps your horse supple for optimum movement. For every horse, for every equestrian sport. The treatment only takes a few minutes each day and is very simple. Our BEMER horse set includes an adjustable and ergonomically shaped horse blanket and 2 cuffs. The dynamic trio for helping your horse. The batteries and the signal controller built into the cuffs and the horse blanket enable wireless operation. Clever details enhance our unique solution. You will be amazed. It has already wowed the leading professionals in equestrian sports. Medically supported by Dr. Hermann Gahn, approved by PST Paul Schockemöller, successfully used by show jumper and world champion Simone Blum. The BEMER horse set. Try it for yourself and for your horse's health.
There is a lot of pressure on me. Thank you very much for very warm welcoming me in the BEMER family. I am very, very honored to be a part of the team and to be chosen to present this part. As you could hear, Dr. Berka has so much knowledge that he didn't even have enough time to give us a very tiny part of it, but when he started to introduce me to microcirculation and he told me how much research there is and they had been made recently in Europe about the BEMER horse set, I was like, wow, okay, I will try to present it well. Sorry if I go too much to Polish or French side, but let's get started. So, we always try to keep our horses in optimum conditions. We know it's very, very difficult, especially in a horse show world, because we just take horses away so much from their natural environment when they can just graze all day, when they have their herd, and they are not exposed to as much stress as we put them in. So we make it easier to care for horses the way that humans would like to. BEMER is made for riders and loved by horses. We can use it in all the disciplines, and also for our pet horses or horses they are not ridden anymore because they are retired or they are just our ponies in our gardens. Caring for horses, as we know, it is a daily challenge. There is a word there that horses are very healthy, but as we all know, it's not true. Especially bringing all this stress and taking them away from their natural environment, they need a lot of help from our side. So we want to keep them healthy. We want to provide them proper nutrition, allow them to regenerate, bring the best performance, avoid stress, and to use the best equipment around them. Failing to keep up with care can result in very serious health issues. And the first one, always with horses, is stress. We all know that we just move horses around, and they have to see new horses around. They have to see new environment. It's a lot of stress for them. And they will be nervous, they will be jumpy, they will be spooky, they will start to develop behavioral reactions like cribbing, like walking around in their stall, and it's very, very hard to control these reactions. We will have decreased adaptation to exercise and even resistance to the rider, especially if we have different riders dealing and different people dealing with the horse. Then the second health issues, it's the real one, which is illness. And as we all know, the first one will be gastrointestinal issues. Again, a lot of stress issues like stomach, nerve spasm of the gastrointestinal issues, the gastrointestinal tract, a lot of muscular tension and problems with muscular development, poor performance, chronic stress, again, and a lot of other chronic diseases that we have to deal with. And injuries. This is something that we know it's a very, very important thing to deal with and to prevent these injuries, especially in our jumpers and dressage horses, which are a little bit older, and they just accumulate all the horse shows and everything, all the training and exercises that we do with them. So most of the problem we deal with is musculoskeletal system and neurological system. And then we come to our microcirculation, and it is the metabolism of the local blood flow in the smallest blood vessel, which adapts to the horse activity. So if the horse is very active, starts to move, this microcirculation will adapt to bring more blood and more nutrients and more oxygen to the vital organs of the horse. So then we have also, as a microcirculation, we have to remember that this is the only way that we can bring our oxygen and nutrients to the cells. So this is the only food for them.
As Dr. Katarzyna said, this is a reiteration or a depiction of the intravital microscopy video that you saw. And of course, you can't see the oxygen being delivered and the carbon dioxide being removed. But these are only two components. You're also being delivering of nutrients and taking out of waste products, especially acidic products. Whether you're an athlete, a human athlete, or an equine athlete, you have the same metabolic needs when you're performing, bringing in nutrients and clearing out waste products. Go ahead, Dr. K.
So again, coming back to our daily challenges, now thinking more about this microcirculation way, we come back like each of you can ask yourself how many challenges you face every day with our horses management when you think about microcirculation. Again, it's everywhere. It's in our nutrition, because if we don't have proper microcirculation, even if we give horses the best supplements, their bioavailability, it's not going to be the best. Then we have our regeneration and health, which is not going to be the same quality if our microcirculation is not proper. Exercise and performance, very important. Again, stress, trying to decrease the amount of stress, which BEMER treatment is very helpful, and making sure that we use proper equipment around horses. So, if we are able to help you with all those efforts, so how can we help? Again, coming back to this most important issue, that we are putting all these animals to these stressful situations that we cannot really explain them why they start just to develop very chronic stress, and their adaptation is decreased. So then they are more prone to illness, and again we can mention few, which is digestive problems, muscle tension, decrease in performance, degenerative diseases, which we all know affects joints of our horses, and some other chronic issues. And then again, our injury, which comes to play. And most of the time, musculoskeletal problems, skin issues. We think only about skin as the coat, but we have to remember about our hoofs. Our hoof growth is also can be very, very affected by the BEMER treatment, and other soft tissue trauma. So, what does BEMER do for your horse? Coming back again to our microcirculation level, it increases microcirculation and vasomotion, so it brings a little bit more space inside of our small blood vessels to push this blood in. It increases oxygen and nutrient transportation into the cells. It helps to remove all the toxin and other waste and metabolites from the cells. It reduces tissue damage and promotes recovery and regeneration. It improves suppleness and increases physical fitness, endurance, and energy. It speeds up recovery time after injury or surgery. It supports the immune system, and it regulates the nervous system, sympathetic and parasympathetic balance. And with doing that, it reduces stress at the competition and transportation and all the other stressful situations. Again, what can happen if the microcirculation is impaired? We have to think about our supply and cleansing process. So, poor blood flow can lead to impaired cell metabolism and cell respiration, and it can result in restricted organ function throughout the entire horse. Also, a decrease in all the self-regulatory mechanisms, like the blood pressure, sweating, hormone levels, all these processes that they are regulating themselves in the body, they can be affected by microcirculation problems. So the optimal function of tissues and organs depends on this proper blood flow, and particularly in microvessels. Blood is the river of life, as we know, so it supplies oxygen and water and all the nutrients to the cells that they need to survive, and tissues and organs, while getting rid of all the things that they don't need. Poor blood flow can cause a variety of health problems, such as decreased energy, which is very early stage that sometimes we don't even see it in horses because they are just, as we say, they are a little bit low, a little bit down. But when they go to the horse show, they get so excited that they basically come back to themselves. But this is something that we sometimes cannot really see in the beginning. Insufficient regeneration, susceptibility to infection, and delayed wound healing. And these are only few that we can name. There are much more of them. So there is our equine friend, and it's really fascinating for me how much blood these animals they can have, because they are animals of prey, so they can really mobilize their circulatory and nervous system when they have to run away from something. So we can have 30 to 55 liters, which is 8 to 15 gallons of blood in a horse. So there is a lot to circulate. And regarding to the nervous system, they are also very, very special because their autonomic nervous system, which is part of it is sympathetic nervous system, which is responsible for the fight or flight response, and parasympathetic nervous system, which is love and peace. So it's responsible for all the functions like digestion, heart rate, blood pressure, urination. They have to be balanced. And in a horse, as an animal of prey, it's very easy to disbalance both because they very easy get to sympathetic reaction, which is not very well welcomed in the world of for the rider, especially, I would say. So how can we use our BEMER horse set? We use it as prevention, and we use it as regeneration. We can use it almost in any case. So our training, everyday riding, events and competitions, transportation, around surgery, and as an adjunctive therapy for sickness and injuries. The unique BEMER signal configuration helps us, again, to improve microcirculation and vasomotion, what we already said, support the action of the parasympathetic nervous system, promotes relaxation and recovery process, helps with prevention, increase performance, supports training by improving suppleness. This is very interesting. And it can have a positive impact post-anesthesia and recovery post-surgery. So we can also use BEMER for its supportive effects in increased muscular tension and some specific muscular problems, soft hard tissue injuries, so our ligaments, tendons, muscles, bones, supportive wound care, and balancing the autonomic nervous system. So here we have our microcirculation, where through the small arteriole we have our blood supply, and then if everything's works fine, there are capillaries, that there are the smallest blood vessels in the body, and the nutrients and oxygen are exchanged with the cells at this level, and all the waste and toxins and metabolites are taken away by the blood, and then the blood leaves through the small venule and all the removal is possible. When we have our microcirculation, which is not working properly, the blood in small arterioles, because the blood vessels are constricted, for example, it's getting kind of lined up there, and it can not get to the capillaries, so we will not have our vital exchange of nutrients, and the cells can not be in good shape because of that. So then we also have no removal functioning in the body. So how we can explain this, again, coming back to a little bit bigger level, and this is something that we are coming slowly to our research that we got. So encourages relaxation and recovery process, helping preventing problems, increasing performance, supporting training exercises, improves defense against infection. As we know, it's also very important when the horses travel a lot. We promote regeneration following exertion and help healing following an injury. And again, our general anesthesia and regeneration following surgery. So how have we proven this so far? Our studies, which I am going to present now, are very, very interesting. One of these studies which was done in Milano, Italy. It was all about relaxation, how our BEMER horse set helps horses to relax. So it was placebo-controlled double-blind studies, and the BEMER horse set supports the parasympathetic activity of horses, which encourages relaxation and recovery process. Because we know if our horses are just resting quiet in the stall or on the paddock, the recovery process is just much more effective. So these studies were, they were measuring the heart rate variability, and they could reveal significant differences between the verum and placebo groups. And the findings were documented following a standardized behavioral observation, which we all know how to see that the horse is relaxed. There are a lot of signs of it. So we will have relaxed posture with resting hind limb, right? The neck and head will be a little bit lowered. The lip licking, ears forward, increased yawning, increased urination and defecation. The other studies were all about the suppleness. So the riding horses treating with the BEMER horse set twice a day over 6 weeks demonstrated improved suppleness in the relaxation phase, and significant differences were documented at galloping speed. So this was another observation, which was they were checking these horses through the six weeks, which was really a good timeline for this kind of a study. Another study was about regeneration. So the horses treated with BEMER horse set every day over 2 weeks demonstrated a trend towards faster regeneration of the muscles due to a reduction in the levels of muscles enzymes. So they were checking CK level, and there was a trend towards the decreased level, which was showing that muscle can regenerate faster, and they have better environment to regenerate. Now we have our studies about the medicine, which is very, very interesting. The horses were treated with the BEMER horse set before and after surgery, which was more than 1 hour. So they were taking only these horses that they were already under the risk of developing some muscle problems because of the low blood pressure. And they demonstrated a smaller increase in CK values, and which again indicates faster possibility of regeneration for the muscle following the surgery. On average, horses treated with the BEMER horse set before surgery spend longer period of time lying on their side in the recovery box, and this means greater relaxation and encourages horses to stand up in a safe way. Everybody who has seen horses standing up after surgery knows how much risk there is if the horse is not ready to stand up, but they try to stand up. So this is a very, very nice study showing us that BEMER can help horses to just relax and stand up when they are ready. Yay, exciting! Okay, so we have many needs and one solution. So let's take a closer look at the product. Again, using it all the time, everywhere, our exercising, riding, showing, competition, transportation, surgery, illnesses, injuries, every day. Now, I have again Dr. Berka, who is a specialist of microcirculation, and I cannot say it the same way as you.
That's fine. So as you know, of course, horses are very different, and not just difference in how they look, but the blood itself, the components are different. The hematocrit, the blood cells are actually smaller. There's more of them. In addition to this, there's much faster blood flow in a horse, as you would need, as you can imagine, but at the same time, the heart beats almost half this amount of humans. And one of the most unique things that was found by Dr. Klopp, which we'll continue to look at, is the lymphatic flow is increased markedly in horses versus human. And Kat can also speak to a little bit how important lymphatics are and clearance of metabolic waste briefly also.
So everybody knows the problem of fat legs. This is like a nightmare. Like we are bandaging these horses and they have these fat legs and they are transported and they didn't walk for one day and the legs are like this. Yes, their lymphatic system is very special. And this is, I feel that the BEMER treatment can really help a lot. And we know there are some horses, they get it, some others, they don't. And also about coming back to this microcirculation, what always brings a smile on my face is that the horses can store 1/3 of their blood in their spleen if they don't need it. And when they exercise and when they reach certain level of exercise that they needed, they just pump it out from their spleen so they can use it. So it gives you a small clue about how much these animals are really adapted to movement, which we cannot give them when we put them in a small stall. So that's why we really need to keep this microcirculation going all the time. Again, what can happen if we just don't have good microcirculation? We will have reduced performance. We will have improper regeneration during the rest period. We will have increased susceptibility to infection and reduced defenses against infection. We will have increased risk of impaired wound healing or delayed wound healing and increased recovery time. Our recovery time will be just longer. Our injuries will not heal. The treatment of microcirculation disorders is this impaired vasomotion in the small caliber arterioles. It cannot be treated by means of conventional medical treatment. It really requires a biophysical stimulation. So this is how the BEMER horset works. It stimulates vasomotion. It exercises these tiny little blood vessels in a physical way. It improves microcirculation. It has a positive impact on the exchange of the substances and cellular metabolism and respiration. So, what is happening during the therapy cycle? In a situation in a healthy body, which our BEMER treatment kind of mimics the situation which is happening should happen in a healthy body. So, it stimulates the vasomotion and microcirculation, which improves the cell maintenance. We have more efficient cells, and then we have well-functioning regulation mechanisms. So our inner doctor is at work. The body can heal itself in a natural way. So our BEMER physical vascular therapy takes effect just there. Thank you.
Mike. Dr. Katarzyna, thank you very much.
Really thank you very much.
Yes, absolutely.
Video.
Yeah, so we're going to do a short video, and please go ahead and step off. And I will introduce you to the next speaker, not just a speaker, but we'll be demonstrating the product. Please watch the video. folks, settle down, because this is where the hoof meets the ground. Please let me introduce you to one of BEMER's most fabulous equine expert, Muriel Dauphinese.
Are we on? Yes, we're on. So, welcome everybody. Really excited to be here. Are you guys excited to find out more? Yay! So, a couple things before I go really into detail about the products, and after the presentations you can have Q&A outside with the two horses. But with the older horse set unit, we were making recommendations. So people from the field, IBDs. How many IBDs do we have here tonight? Right. So keep continuing getting your voice heard, because this is a company, amazing company, that does listen and that can do things and change products for us. And also the horse clients as well. And I had a voice in it as well. And as a team, we were all able to come up with this amazing new product. So a couple details. Enlarged horse blanket. We wanted longer, wider, and a better fit. This is the smallest size you see here. So it will grow in a little bit. You will see. So if you have large sport horses, it can go a lot bigger. Increased adjustability, so fits all sizes with horses. Includes breathable sections. In the horse blanket, we have a new coil configuration. Feedback from veterinarians and therapeutic people like myself. We went from 8 to 19 coils. It doesn't change anything about the science, it's still the same, but the distribution of the body is so much better. Improved quality of the Velcro. Remember, we had some Velcro issues for the cuff. Also better belt system. Changed position of the control unit. Remember, we had this here, and normally the horse would go like, that's a nice carrot. You know, let me take a bite. So we have put it up right here, so no more issues with that. And we have now an under blanket. I'll quickly grab it. Cool. So your BEMER horse set will come with an under blanket. So I'll talk about that in a little bit more. Very nice quality. Here for Florida, I would recommend to use a scrim sheet or a fly sheet unless you want extreme sweating. But it's very nice quality. Improved carrying case, I'll go on that. And we have a second charger with a Y adapter, so we can charge two things at the same time. So this is how this looks. So this is, for me, one of the most beautiful horses. I think this is like a wow horse. Beautiful sport horse. So we see here all the different points I just talked about. Now let's talk about the cuff. Who remembers the current cuff? We have now two cuffs. 1, 2, so we can treat two legs at the same time. Front or back or diagonal, it doesn't matter. You can go up a little higher, get the knee in there. You can go a little lower, get the hoof in there or the hock, whatever you need to do. Integrated control units, so they work independently from each other. So if you have one leg with an injury and the other leg is healthy, you can do two separate programs. So that's really amazing. Larger signal range, and I have my Magic B-Scan with me, so you can hear that tonight. Breathable, removable, washable inlets. I will go over that later as well, because once I start touching the product, we're gonna go more into the filming. Improved Velcro quality, elastic Velcros, and conform design. Standalone, easy storage bag. So new bag, everything fits in here. So what an improvement from what we had, right? Yes, look at that. It's got really high quality space for the blanket, the 2 cuffs, your charger, easy to carry with you. Bring it on the plane, put on medical device, not a problem. Yeah. So everything fits in here, so we'll go over that as well. Then the charger, you kind of saw it in the little video. It has a Y adapter, so you can charge 2 boots at the same time. Remember, your first charge when you get your BEMER is the longest. You'll have a dead battery, so the first charge takes about 8 to 10 hours, and after that your charges will go a lot faster. And then the under blanket, you see, our demo horse there, is to absorb sweat. But like I said, for here in Florida, this is too warm to put that under that. But please do put something underneath to get that sweat so you don't get the sweat stains on your blanket and you don't transfer any skin issues from horse to horse as well. So because it's washable, but not machine washable, because we have the computer here with the opening. So, but it is a waterproof product. And so the cooler actually, we like to use it as a standalone cooler. So when we walk the horse, parade the horse to, the arena or around the barn, we can make publicity for BEMER. Say, hey, BEMER. So not just in the barn, it says BEMER, but now you can walk your horse with your BEMER cooler and everybody can take pictures, right? The name branding, we need to get the name out there. So, good job, BEMER. So, intuitive and easy to use, integrated wireless battery and signal control unit. So this is totally wireless, you won't have any wires. Lightweight with flexible coils, very storable, developed and manufactured according to the medical device standards. Works when placed over any blanket. So if you live up north and it's minus 20 degrees and your horse is in a super thick winter blanket, no biggie. Just throw it on top of there and the BEMER signal will go right through. Yeah. Free, easy treatment programs. It's, I always say, sorry, made for dummies. 5, 10, or 15 minutes. That's program 1, program 2, program 3. Low intensity, medium intensity, deep intensity. So it's, you really don't have to be, a scientist to work with the BEMER. We went over easy to clean, easy for everyday life. So the BEMER is, you want to use it every day on your horses like we use it for people because it's cumulative, right? We don't need only blood flow when we perform. We need good blood flow every day to repair and to regenerate and to feel good, right? And to prevent things from happening. What if, all the horses that are born and all the children that are born start on a BEMER and we can prevent, diseases and injuries and everything, right? Adjustable for any size horse. I have more slides. I just want to start here. Quickly about the controller. So this is the brain. This is the most important part of the BEMER. You have 3 programs, 1, 2, and 3. You can push any of these 3 buttons, hold it 1.5 seconds. Did we time that? I think it was 2. So the 3 lights come on. 3 full lights means it's fully charged. It's basically like a cell phone. So when you charge your cell phone, you charge it out, you have the full lights on, the full battery. 1 green light is 30%, 2 green lights. So as you're using it, as you're giving sessions to either 1 horse or multiple horses, because you have 20 horses in the barn and you're going back to back, you will see this battery slowly go down. Once you have your last green light, it will turn orange, And that's basically, can you please charge me? And you charge it like a cell phone. How many are new to BEMER? Totally new, never saw or heard about it, but don't be shy. Yeah, there, yeah. Good. So it charges like a cell phone. I'll show you how to plug it in. A fully charged battery can give you 15 or more sessions. Why is there not a specific range? Because it depends what intensity you use, right? If you use intensity 1, you get more sessions than intensity 3. So now that it's on, it's not working yet. I have to press a program, low, medium, deep. And every new horse starts on program 1. So we press briefly, number 1. Now it flashes. It's actually already working. So I'm not sure if he's going to lick and chew and drop his head, go to the bathroom, so we won't see that. Maybe next time we can bring a real horse up. Intensities. So signal program, flux density, and intensity charge. So it fluctuates. Program 1 is always 5 minutes. Program 2 is always 10 minutes. Program 3 is always 15 minutes. So you don't do all the programs. You kind of make a little program. Start low and slow, and then build up from there. See what your horse likes. Low intensity, medium intensity, high intensity. But let's look at the next line. Blanket and cuff, so the 2 leg cuffs. Do you see how much higher the intensity is on the cuff? And the reason is that the blanket is for systemic therapy, for the full body. Will bring the horse into homeostasis state, where it can heal. It's when it's all up, and when the energy is going, and the fight and flight or the freeze, there's no healing takes place. So you need to bring, so the blanket systemically brings the horse into a relaxed state, a homeostasis state. And with the cuff is for localized issues. Can be a leg issue, can be a back issue, can be a stifle or a hock or a neck. And I know a lot of you are already thinking like, how on earth am I gonna put that boot on the neck? Yeah, I'm gonna tell you all the secrets. That's my job. So, quick highlight. Lightweight, easy to use, battery operated, no wires, 3 simple programs, space-saving storage, carrying bag, developed and manufactured in compliance with medical product standards, 3-year warranty. That's really long. I don't know about you guys, but when I buy something, it's usually 1 year. So 3-year amazing warranty. Investment, can you believe that we are getting this much more product? And 2 cuffs and a new bag and an under blanket for basically the same price? Thank you, BEMER. And sorry, Canadians, have to pay a little more. Blanket, cuffs, the inlets that I'll show you, the belts, the charger, adapter, the cooler can all be purchased separately. So if there are people that have the current unit and say, well, I cannot do that investment in getting a new unit, get the boots. Cuffs, sorry. They look like boots. Oh, no, sorry. Oops. So I'm going to go, I'll put this here. Quickly show you a couple differences. For those who are not familiar with the BEMER, what stayed the same is the attachment in the front. So the front we have the Velcro that can be adjusted for larger chest horses or smaller. So this is a tiny guy. And Albert thought it was a big horse. And I told him it's a small horse. And it straps in the front. So you would do this on the right and the left. Then we have the girth, stayed the same. Now for the magical part is this size. So the hind end grows, becomes longer. So you're going to open the Velcros on this side. Look at this beautiful design. Orange, they changed the color, and it's really turned out very beautiful. I think it matches now with every horse, because first it was brown, and if you would put the brown on a bay horse, you could barely see the blanket. So this really pops out. And do you see all the breathable mesh material? So there's room for the body to breathe and sweat. So we open all the Velcro parts on the back and on the two. Thank God I'm tall. I do have to stand on my tippy toes. And we basically pull this. You can even go further if my, there. So it just grew by, I don't know if you can see how far this comes over the hindquarters. So you can reach the whole hindquarter, hamstrings, the whole back end, which was a big issue. So we have, I should have measured this earlier, maybe 10 inches that it grows, and then you put the Velcro on. We have two ways to attach it as leg straps. But remember, some horses, they don't like to be touched in the groin. So you can have it as a leg strap, or you can use it as a tail strap. And do not stand here when it's a real horse. You know, remember they have really wide vision, binocular vision, but they cannot see right behind the tail and right under their eyes by their nose. But luckily, you all are sensible horse people, so we use it as a tail strap. So now, did you see how the flashing stopped? So this was already the 5-minute program. Am I still good on time? Good. So here I could choose, you know, let's run another program, because it was just 5 minutes, so let me do another 5 minutes, or I could choose 10 minutes. So I'm going to choose that program. And here is where the magic is, if I can find it. I made a mess. The B-scan, everybody knows the B-scan. If you don't know it, you can buy it in your back office. Do you already see all the coils? Can you see them from where you're sitting? But you can come up close later on and really see all the coils. But look how far this is going into the hind end. By the caudal, by their hamstrings, lower back, thoracic back, place of impact where we put the saddle and sit, shoulders, and it comes all the way around the chest, which we did not have before because the blanket was too small. So now it's like the horse is wrapped in the BEMER signal. And we're getting a lot deeper. So the other blanket would cut here, and now we're getting a lot deeper into the organs of the horse, especially their digestive system, right? Dr. Kate was talking about that, their digestive system. So this will turn off automatically. Now for the boots, I'll quickly take one off. It's got 3 easy Velcro straps, 1, 2, 3. And look at this magic. This can be washed because horses are not always clean. They look clean, but they don't, and they do sweat. You know, if you wrap their leg and you wrap them in the blankets, there's going to be sweating. So then this can be washed, can also be reordered. You know, if this doesn't hold, and you just put these little things together. This is a great material. It's Cool Max. It's very soft. on their very thin, sensitive legs, right? That has, compared to their body, I'm always amazed, you know, when you look at all their body and the weight and all the organs and lungs that are in there, and then they have to carry that all with those small, thin legs. So this is a nice material. So you basically, you have right and left. It will say in here, for those who can't figure it out, it will say right or left. So, and it's the horse's right or left, not yours. So you wrap it like a boot, a horse boot, but the official product name is cuff. Put it on. Same thing, I can push any button, hold it. Uh-oh. Okay, let's try that again. There, fully charged. So did you see that? I was pushing and nothing happened, so it's really important that you really push. We have that on the BEMER Pro sometimes too, a little bit, when we try to push on the icons, and you're not pushing it correctly because you're in bed and you're going like this, and you push 10 times. Do we all have that? So I choose my program, so I can do 2. And here is how high. So even here in the knee, and this is a little harder because this is not a real horse, so it kind of stops a little bit the signal, I feel. I've tested this on my own horses. I'm getting the signal into the hoof. So I'm getting blood flow into the hoof. And that's, we all know that's very important. Do we have time to show a couple other things? No? The neck. Yes, I guess it's a yes. So if you really have hoof issues, you can drop it lower and really wrap it in the hoof. If you have knee issues, you can pull it up higher or reverse right to left and then put them in the opposite direction this way. So you cover the whole knee, because the knee, we get bone bruising, we get arthritis with older horses. So we can do it like that. For the neck, I'm going to need 2 boots. The brain, fight and flight and freeze, or freeze. Fight, flight, or freeze, right? Those are the 3 sympathetic nervous system issues with the horse. So if we want to get a little bit of regulation in there, we can actually put it up here and get it under the halter, and it will stay in place. And you let it run like this. For the neck, you connect your 2 I missed one. Okay, so on my horse this worked. Trust me. I think because this guy, he's plastic. You basically have it like this, and I have the pictures to prove you, so if you want to come see me, I can show you how I did this. But boom, one cuff lays here, and the other cuff lays there, or you can put it on here. This can go on the entire back as well. So I think that's it. Thank you. And I think I have the honor to introduce one of the most hardworking person at BEMER Corporate. And I have to say thanks to Brad. This is also all happening. So really big applause for Brad. Thank you for listening. I'll just put this back.
Thank you so much, Marielle. So not only am I the marketing guy, but I'm also the presentation wrap-up guy. So 5 more minutes tops. We have outside, we're going to have the full bar, we're going to have dessert, we're going to have coffee, we're going to do Q&A. It's going to be great. 3 more minutes. So I've been in Wellington for 3 days now, and the number one question that I have been asked is, how come nobody knows about BEMER? And Albert mentioned it, and a couple other people mentioned it. I mean, BEMER truly is the best kept secret in the human industry, in the equine industry, and that's what we're here today to change this. And we have, 210 people that I would consider big hitters in the world of equine. And so now it's all about you to help share the magic of BEMER. So thank you so much for everybody being here today. So one thing that, this is really our coming out party, today. So this on Monday, if you haven't seen it already, we did launch a brand new BEMER Equine website. So everything that you've seen today, all the wonderful videos, our brand ambassadors, testimonials, information graphs, downloadable PDFs of the sales materials that you saw on your seat, all of that is on the website. So, and that'll constantly be updated. So that should be your number one source. Thank you. And the best part, because what I get asked all the time is, how do I get the videos? And of course, if you are an IBD, you can go to your BEMER back office, but you can download every video that you saw tonight, you can download on the website. Very, very easy. And of course, we're so, lucky, humbled, just can't believe that we've been able in such a short amount of time to attract world-class athletes in the equine industry. Boyd Martin in the eventing world, Jessica Springsteen, who was roaming around outside during the cocktail party in show jumping, Victoria Colvin, who's here. I can't really see where Victoria is, but if she's here, she can maybe raise her hand, or maybe she's outside getting the coffee. And then Tom and Cade McCutcheon, and Ms. D. Wrigley Miller, who's also here. So thank you to them all in helping us spread the word of BEMER. In the interest of time, I'm not going to go through those testimonials, but you can see all of those on our new landing page. And, obviously, Marielle, who is just up here, she's been incredible. The pace that we've had to run to launch this new product and create these events has been incredible, at the very least. And so, and we couldn't have done it without our Equine Advisory Committee, which is made up of our most knowledgeable IBDs within the world of equine. So I want to thank each and every one of them, Marlise and Cindy and Nate and Ellen and Jenna. Thank you so much for all of your help. And a special thanks to Marielle, who has led our entire process here. So thank you very much to her. And then last but not least, Phelps Media Group. I know they're all wandering around. Lenore and Megan and Rebecca and Mason. I don't know if Mason's here, but thank you to all of them. They made this possible. They picked this location. This wonderful ambiance is all them. Thank you very much. Thank you, everybody. Please spread the word of BEMER, coffee, drinks, dessert outside. Thank you.